Okay, we checked all 4 systems, and you were go on modulation, all 4, and keying was a go.
Roger, you're loud and clear here also. Voice control, Houston, contact net 2.
Voice control.
Roger, honeysuckle is go. Put him back in conference, please. Thank you.
Hello everybody, this is the Smiling Mammoth and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Last time we were here we were getting reacquainted with some of the new mechanics of .21. What I thought we'd do today is start kind of a bit of a longer project, something that's not a one-off launch, something we're going to build up, and that is going to be a space station. So there's quite a few parts that I want to have on this station. I want the ability to kind of dock ships to it, just kind of generally for, I don't know, storage purposes almost. I want the ability to be able to refuel ships once they're in orbit, so basically means you can increase the range of your flights to other planets, which is something that I want to get into later on. And yeah, I mean those are the main ones. I also need to add kind of stuff like power generation for solar. What's the word? No, I want to add solar panels for power generation. That's what I want. So I've already designed kind of the hub of the what's the word? Of the station. I'm going to call it Odin. But what I wanted to do first actually was basically there is a standard. That's the one I want. There's a standard rocket design that I use. Damn. Why is that not letting me? That was weird. Yeah, basically there's a standard rocket design that I use for almost all of my heavy lifting stuff. So what I wanted to do was just quickly like build that, and I've installed a mod called the subassembly loader, which basically allows me to save parts of rockets and then load them onto each other. So if I build this design now, what I'll be able to do is I'll just be able to recall it at any time. So I want it, I need it to kind of be able to control on its own, so that's what this is for. We're going to want SAS and maybe another. That's annoying, you can't get big reaction wheels. Oh well, we should be alright with one. Then on top of this we're going to want an adapter for a docking node, so we can fit on whatever it's going to be that we're launching, because I don't want to make the same mistake we did with the Artemis and screw it up with without giving ourselves the ability to redock. So that's the main. That's the top of it. So now we're going to want to add in RCS. One tank should do it, I reckon. We can always add a little bit more later. Then I'm trying to remember how it went now. I think we had. No, I do need this one. We had one of them with the Poodle. This is just for kind of final manoeuvrability. Then we had another tank like that, with which we can now actually use the skipper. So we can basically kind of start revving up the stages. I'm actually going to add in another little tank there, because that's the 32, where's the 16? That's it. That just gives us a little bit of extra flight in the middle, which is where we're going to need quite a bit of the power. Then what we have is outer stages. So we need 4 of these. We put it there, that's probably a good spot. But it helps to have 4. And then on this we use these orange tanks. And we stack another. We could no, I don't think we need quite that much just because of the weight. We'll do another stack like that. And then we want parachutes on this, so we're going to need structural. I'm still trying to get used to all of the new tabs, it's really bad. Actually, can I use you? No, you're too small. No, that's the one I wanted, that's what I'm looking for. It's just a bit shallower. And then we want utility, yes, parachutes. Awesome. And then underneath these we want mainsails. The big one. Like that. And then around the outside of each of these we want SRBs just to give us a kick off the launch pad, basically. So we use the hydraulic detachment manifold, whose name means absolutely nothing, but it sounds cool. Try and line them up as best I can. That'll do. And then just use these little SRBs. Because, well, I say little, they're the big ones. There we go, are they all lined up? This middle one isn't, it needs to go over one more notch. It's quite hard to get these lined up exactly where you want them. Is that it? Nope, need to go one more over. Oh, this is... There we go, that's it. That's not it. Damn it. It's because it needs to be central, otherwise it introduces unwanted wobble. That is lined up though, so... I seem to remember it being bigger than that, but... maybe not. We'll give it a go, I guess. So we need to add in our support and control, so let's bump you up and put in some reaction wheels. That should make it a lot more stable. I'm gonna want some struts because otherwise it just shakes itself to pieces, unfortunately. And on the bottom, spot on. Okay, so let's just set up the staging. So we want the SRBs to fire, along with the 4 mainsails. Then, once the SRBs are done, we want them all to decouple, which I'm thinking are all these, but we seem to be 1, 2, 12. Yep, no, that is right. 12, 12. So they all disconnect. Then after that, we want these all to disconnect, the parachutes to fire. Then in a new stage we want the bottom to fire. That's what I've forgotten. I need a decoupler in, because otherwise it's not going to come apart when we want. Max. That's it. So now we want another stage just in for the decoupler. So they all fire off. That fires, that decouples, that fires. Awesome. And then I want some more RCS on this, because this is going to need to be reasonably manoeuvrable. And I'm actually going to stick an extra RCS tank in there, just to make extra sure. There's something else I need. I'm trying to think what it is. Solar panels. That's what I want to stick on. put some on here, what it means is basically we'll... Come on, why aren't you giving me... There we go. It just means that we're guaranteed to have some power, basically, at all points. I'll stick some batteries in as well, actually, just in case. Can't be too careful. How much does this hold? 4,000, that is more than enough. So, that will be our main rocket design. Now we need to save it. The sub-assembly may not be attachable after saving, because the root part doesn't have any free attachment. Yes, because I'm going to be attaching onto it. Actually, no, wait, no, what I want to do is I don't want it as a sub-assembly, I want to save it, because then I just load this in, and then I load the sub-assembly that I want to go on top. That's it. So, we need a name. I'm calling the space station Odin, but I need kind of like a name of kind of a heavy lifter. Something that is workhorse, maybe just workhorse 1. That'll do. And then save. Awesome. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need? I don't think so. Oh, yes there is. I need I need these. And they need to decouple at the same time as all this. Save. Right, let's just give this a quick test launch just to double check that I've got everything working basically and that nothing's going to explode on me. Come on. The loading times have definitely gotten longer in 0.21, I have to say. At least that's the way it feels. Okay, physics is in, we are still stable, that's good. So let's throttle up to about 2/3, zoom out so my frame rate doesn't get too destroyed, and go. Awesome, that is flying nicely. We're getting some rotation, which I think I can fix by putting fins on. It seems to be compensating. The moment of truth is basically when we decouple the SRBs, because once they're gone we're then flying just on the force of these mainsails, and they should be enough basically because actually I'll probably throw it down a bit. What am I saying? I've lost my train of thought. And they should be enough because we're not carrying a payload. Like, once we're carrying a lot more weight on top, then this is going to be a lot less effective, like we won't be going nearly as fast. And what kind of throttle do I need to stabilise us? And 2/3 does that. Okay, that's good. That's alright. So, let's just do a quick test of the staging. So we want... decouple and shoot, fire the next engine. Full revs isn't actually enough to give us oh no, maybe just about. Where are they going? Oh, I forgot to turn the engines off, that's why they're going all the way up there. And then just do a quick boom, knock us off it. So we can... Oh, hang on, it's still stuck in there. The thing is, let's fire the next engine. Actually, it doesn't have enough power to lift clear. That bodes well. Come on. I basically just want to roll it out and check we get a good disconnect. No, I can't actually do anything about that. Okay. I forgot to put parachutes on as well. That's smart. I think once we're in space, this will actually decouple, but right now it's not going to work, so we'll call that a day, revert to VAB. So I think we can call that a success of a design. I mean, the real truth is going to be when we try and launch Odin, but speaking of which, here's a moment of truth, because no, not lifters, landers, because that's the thing I had to save it in. Odin hub. This is what I'm going for. So we've got the new cupola module, which basically gives you very nice views. Got some illuminators, RCS. I've got some initial docking ports just for general use, and then I'm hoping that this is going to be able to attach onto. I was hoping that this was going to be able to attach onto the bottom, but it would appear not. I can attach it like that, actually. Oh, I wonder. So now that's attached, I can start. If I put, I'm going to want docking ports on all these anyway. Actually, thinking about it, but I need it the other way up, basically for aerodynamics. What little that there is in KSP, but can I then? If I get rid of you. No. Unless I take this off, flip it. No, that was... there's my problem. The docking ports only have... like, you can only couple stuff onto them when they don't... like when they're only when they're attached even. I know what I'm trying to say. So that should now work, because those are two docking ports fused together. Why won't you attach? I could just fit a decoupling system again, but I don't like that because it doesn't work. Basically, it means I can't reattach anything. Great, that docking port's now stuck in it. Let's try this again. Workhorse 1, where are you? Yeah, this is where the longer loading times are, is in the VAB screen. Alright, let's try this again. So, let's just take you off quickly. Load sub, landers, Odin hub. I may need to watch some tutorials on this, to be honest. So I can attach you on there, but I can't. So that'll work. If I put the docking port on the front, that works. But the thing is, I need this at the bottom so I can attach struts to it to make it secure. Unless I now do what I was planning to originally, which is... there it is. Oh no, but I can't attach that then. Ah! Why does it not work the way I want it to? Okay, we'll just do it this way because it's easier. So we're going to want a docking port on top then. We're going to need to put our docking ports on again. Sure, that should work. I think it may just be easier to kind of build my stuff straight from the workhorse screen, because it's going to get annoying if I have to do stuff like this each time. But let's put in our struts for now. So we want it on. Can I put it on the parachute? Yes, I can. So that's worked. Then we want another set on here, say, just attaching up onto this. and then possibly a few just going like that. Oh, and actually, what will work quite well is if we do that, because that'll give us some support once we decouple the first stages. Okay, it's not perfect, but it should work. Let's resave this as Odin hub. Staging shouldn't make any difference. Let's do this. Now the tricky part in this is going to be when we start decoupling stuff, because that's when we're going to develop spins and all that nasty, not so fun stuff. I should have put fins on actually. If we start launching and we're getting a really bad spin, then I'll put in I'll start putting on fins and stuff. But okay, so I want to control from here. Throttle up to 2/3. Fire. Yep, good lift. Little bit of a spin, but the SAS should take care of that because we have an extra set of reaction wheels in here. So we should be yeah, we're spinning back nicely. Awesome. Okay. Looks like we've got a good, clean launch of Odin. I'm going to aim for 120 kilometre 120 kilometre orbit, because that's a nice, neat number. Like a lot of my stuff I launch at 100, so I want it to be a little bit above that, but I need it kind of low enough so that if I'm doing refueling runs and stuff like docking, I need... yeah, I'm going to need it to be low enough that it's going to be accessible. Okay, so that's empty. We're now onto this bottom. We're getting a bit more of a spin going, but again, it's alright. Overheat a little, so we'll throttle down. We just want to stay nice and constant at about this speed, because if we go above 200 meters per second, it starts getting inefficient. Like the air resistance is, it means we're wasting fuel basically. So we're at 10 kilometers. Let's start our gravity turn. So we need to be as spot on 90 as we can here, because we're going to need to dock parts onto this later, and we don't want our lives to be difficult basically. Come on, get it down a bit more. Let's use fine controls actually, that should make my life a bit easier. And let's throttle up as well. So ideally, this should last until the end of our gravity turn, I think. That's what it used to do, so with any luck, it should. If not, that's no biggie, because we've got the extra stages, and that's exactly what those extra stages are for. Let's leave it on 2/3. We should run out of fuel before we overheat. Building up speed nicely. What kind of outpipes are we looking at? 50 odd kilometers at the moment. About to run out of fuel in this stage, but I'm getting a bit of a spin going as well. Come on. This thing steers like a dead cow. That's the problem with big rockets. Okay. Let's jettison you. Fire the next engine. Don't hit anything. Yes. Okay, what's our apoapsis looking like? 90 odd kilometers. Still building up speed. Very good. Let's drop this down a bit more actually. I want a nice precise thing. Yeah, plenty of fuel. This is going to be nice and easy. This is it's very handy having the skipper engine actually, because I was having to use the mainsails in the middle stage, and the problem is they've got really high fuel consumption. So this is much better. So I've brought it back. I've brought our nose back a bit just so we gain height a bit faster. So aim for 120, 125, something around that. Going nicely. Once we hit apoapsis, I'll be able to just floor it. A little bit higher because we're going to lose a little bit of height, I think. But let's get in position for our burn. I do this with a maneuver node, but to be honest, it's a lot easier just to eyeball it. Let's time accelerate. We're going to need to leave about, I reckon, 40 seconds clearance. So let's knock you back a bit. Give it the beans. Although I guess that is an advantage with the Rockomax, is that stuff like this became a lot faster because you could just floor it, and when you floored it, you floored it. So you were able to kind of get into orbit a lot easier. Let's stick our lights on, shall we? I added them. I thought it might just look a bit cooler. No other reason. Let's knock our nose back down a bit. Actually, that's new. I've never seen that before. Oh, so if we're ever... Oh, so we can... I think we were able to deactivate, like, the view of other ships. That's really handy for docking, actually. Right, but we're coming up, about to get into orbit. So, again, aiming for 120,000. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So if you can hear the house phone in the background. We need a little bit more. Little bit more. That's at 122, that's at 120. I'm going to need to do this manually, actually, so... someone's at the door, actually. I need to go, so I'm going to pause this, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, you kind of have to answer the doorbell, recording or not, so... We want to time warp, so we're spot on apoapsis. Oh, that was weird. We only need to bump it up by a kilometre or so, which is not going to take much. So that's 1218, 1219. You can tell when you get it spot on because they jitter so much. But that's good. We're in orbit successfully. Let's turn our lights back on. Oops. Okay, so we're spinning a bit, but that's good. How's our power? Oh wow, yeah, just a bit of electric charge. Okay, I think we can safely say we can decouple. I'm going to do a quick save just in case. I think it's F5, yes. So that's our quick save. Let's decouple this node. Have I got the right one? Yes. Awesome, let's just swap out. Check it turns. Yep, everything's turning alright. Let's just engage RCS. Oh, bollocks, I didn't put RCS on it. That was smart. Okay. Let's put RCS on this and just back up a bit. So when we do our turn, we're not, our deorbit burn, we're not going to kill anything on Odin. But there we go. I mean, this is the easiest part of a space station, to be quite honest, because we don't have to worry about docking anything to it, whereas the next time we do a launch we're going to have to dock onto it, and that's going to be a challenge. But so those are deployed, so next time we come into solar range, that's all set up. Excellent. So let's switch back and bring this baby out of orbit. We've not got much fuel in the tank, but we don't really need much, to be honest. Although what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hold it and we're going to time warp until it's day, till we can land in the day. In fact, can we land back at KSC, I wonder? Yeah, I reckon we could do that. So there's KSC. Actually, it's a bit dark. We'll just land on this continent. So, where's Odin gone? I think we're still moving away from it, which is why, but doesn't matter. Let's just get back on and deorbit. Oh bugger, I forgot parachutes. Okay, that's something we need to put in on the next, like we need to go and edit the workhorse lander, the workhorse kind of stock thing, because that's going to be a problem otherwise. Doesn't really matter. All I want on this one is just to get it out of orbit. But whoa, camera doing weird things. Where's the... Oh, spinning out of control. Okay, I'm hoping that's enough to deorbit. I've done enough on that to deorbit it. I think I should have done. Let's just double check. Periapsis is 44 kilometers. Yes, we've done enough to deorbit it. That's good. Now we need to... Cannot switch vessels. Oh, well throttled up. So, there we go. Switch and power back on. Just want to land somewhere in. Usually, let's aim for this. Let's aim for this here. Time accelerate. This is going to be some. We're going to get really crisped up in the atmosphere. I'll tell you that now. I do wish there was a way to go faster than 4 times on when you're coming back in, because, you know, does require a lot of waiting. We're still going to come down on this. Maybe not. We might just be short. Oh, here comes the lag, basically. Let's just smooth ourselves out a bit. Oh no, but we're gone. Oh no, we are going to fall short. Okay. Full power upwards. Oh, actually, we might be able to survive this, you know. Whoa, 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 this thing is unstable as anything, though. and I don't think we will, because I don't think we can survive a 40 meters per second impact. Nope, we can't. But that's fine. Let's head over to the tracking station and just double check on Odin. So we need to give him we need to rename him, but so 121, 121. Look at that, 130 meters distance. That's what I like to see. That makes life a lot easier when it comes to docking as well, because we don't need to, like, it won't change its velocity at any point. It'll just keep constant. This velocity will keep pretty much constant. That's looking good. We've got solar power. These should work nicely, yes. So they're ready for when we need to dock shields. Let's give a bit of an IVA view. Okay, you can't quite see as much as I assumed you could in the module. Oh no, you kind of can. You can see a bit. What's it pointed at, actually? Oh, that's why it's just looking into space. Let's turn you so you're looking back at Kerbin. Should give us a bit of a better view then. Maybe round the edges. Should tell you what. Let's get the best view of all. No, wrong one. EVA. Let's engage some of our RCS. Look at that. That is a view. Awesome. Yep, it's little now, but it's definitely going to be growing. I think next time we'll start adding modules on. That's going to be fun. Oh, that's why I can't see anything out of the front, is because of this. Bother. I might go. I might add another module on the other side with nothing on it, just so we really do get a proper way of viewing Kerbin. Can I turn the lights on manually? No, I can't. Okay, how do I get back in? No, up. I am lousy at controlling these guys. There it is, there's the way in. In you go. Grab on. F. Board. Excellent. Okay. Happy with that. I wonder though, actually, just one last check. How much power we use off the lights if I leave them running? Because I don't want this to get kind of like stranded with no power. Literally nothing. Okay. That's fine then. And if I've got the solar panels out, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. I think that's going to be all for today with this launch. A very successful launch, I reckon. Actually, one last thing. Let's just rename this to Odin. And it's a station. Awesome. So, I will see you next time when we start docking stuff onto this. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you then. Take care.